Today I'm replacing the harmonic balancer on a 2005 Buick Lesabre 3.8 or 3800 Series 2 engine. Alright, now this is not a pleasant task. First thing you need to do when you're doing this is pull off the passenger side front wheel, because you're going to need to get in there with your puller, and it's handy to be able, you can get to it a whole lot better. If you look up inside there, that's the end of the crankshaft. Okay, now I'm like halfway through this job, so I'm kind of starting late on the video, but I'm going to explain as I go. First thing you do is pull the wheel off, okay, so you can get in there. Now, second thing you do is you're going to pull the drive belt off. Very easy to do. This is a belt tensioner right here, right up underneath the alternator. That's your belt tensioner. What you want to do is take a 1/2-inch drive ratchet or a breaker bar. Breaker bar makes it easier. A 15mm socket, put it on here and push toward the firewall, and this will spring down and you can just pull your belt right off. Okay, so now your belt's off. Now, next thing you have to do, whoops, there goes my light, okay? Next thing you have to do is pull off the harmonic balancer. Okay, you can see the end of the crankshaft right here. I've already pulled the harmonic balancer. This is your crankshaft sensor right here where I'm tapping. Don't damage that, or you're going to be replacing that as well. Okay, but if you're careful, you don't have to worry about it. But you got to get that harmonic balancer off, and it's a trick. Now, I picked up a neat trick on YouTube as far as this goes, and I got to go back and get the guy's the link to his video, and I'm going to put it in the description below. You know, credit where credit is due kind of thing, because it was really cool. This little gap right down here. Now, you guys that, you know, if you haven't done this before and you don't have the car sitting in front of you, it's not going to mean anything to you, but you got the car sitting in front of you, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. There's a hole right there. Take a 1/2-inch drive ratchet and a 24mm socket. That's what you're going to need to do this job. Put it on there and then put your ratchet down in there and then crank the car. I know, sounds crazy, but crank the car. As soon as it cranks, turn it back off. It will back that bolt right out. Otherwise, you are going to play all kinds of heck trying to get that bolt out. So, now you got the bolt loose. You come down here and you back the bolt out by hand. And then you've got your actual puller to deal with. Now, my puller here, it's a big set. I got it from Summit Racing. That, and I got a secondary puller. I'm in the used parts business, so I actually need pullers. Here's the other one. Okay, I got 2 pullers to cover pretty much all the bases. It was like $130 from Summit Racing, but you can use, I've been told anyway, you can use a steering wheel puller for this. But what you're going to need is 3 to 3.5-inch 1/4-20 bolts. And as cool as this set is, with everything that's in it, did not come with those 1/4-20 bolts. What I figured out, a tip for you motorheads, if you like to tinker around motors, you got stuff laying around, if you've got any 88 and newer Chevrolet 350 engines or 305 engines, the valve cover bolts are 3.5-inch 1/4-20 bolts. They're not quite 1/4-20, they're standard, but they'll work as long as you don't like tweak them too tight so that you screw up the threads. I mean, you're not worried about screwing up threads on the harmonic balancer because you're replacing it, but you don't want to screw up threads on the bolts because you'll want to use them for the next job. So get some good thread engagement, just give it a good tighten, and you're done. And it works perfectly. That took me a while to figure out because I was short on the bolts and couldn't figure out how to get the stupid thing off. But anyway, once you get that done, you're pretty much set. You basically throw an impact on it or throw a ratchet on it, whatever, and you back the harmonic balancer off, and that's where we are right now. Now, let me show you what my newest problem is, and by the time you guys see this, it'll be too late for anybody out there that could help me to actually help me, because I live an hour and 10 minutes away. That's where my wife and my kids are, and I'm done messing with this thing. I'm going to put it back together and get home. But your comments are welcome. They might help somebody else down the road. Now, this one on the left here is the one that came off the car. See this cast iron plate? Okay. Now, this one is the replacement that I got for it. No cast iron plate. Interesting, right? Hate you get in the middle of a job and you find something like this. But now, I'm a shade tree mechanic. Been tinkering around with cars for, well, since I was 14, and I'm 49 now, so you do the math. But I'm not a certified mechanic, but I do have some of the better tech tools. I've got a digital vernier caliper, and I check the ID on here. I check the OD. I check the keyway. I check the sensor ring. Everything is the same. I'm thinking this is an aftermarket, and this is OEM. And I think it's going to work. Like I said, I'm going to throw it back together and find out if it does. And I'll let you guys know. I'll video the crank up at the end to see if it works. But either way, I'll do some stuff in the meantime also with other tips and tricks. But there you go. Alright, talk to you in just a bit. Alright folks, as you can see, the front wheel is back on my old beater go-to-work car. By the way, this is 2005 Buick Lesabre 3.8, and I got it for $800. Gets like twice the gas mileage of my car. It's ugly as crap, grandma car. But, you know what, 800 bucks, twice the gas mileage of my truck. I'm happy with that. My go-to-work car. Everything's back together. I was talking about the possibility of the aftermarket harmonic balancer, and I think that's going to be the case. I think that's what it was, because it worked fine. Took my 24 millimeter. I lined up the keyway. That's important. Make sure your keyway is lined up when you put it back on. And hand tighten your bolt down snug, and then hit it with your 24 mil on your impact. Tightens it right back up. Tighten until it won't go any further, so you're within the sensor range on the crankshaft sensor. And now the issue here, I cranked it up and it works just fine, but the issue here is that I still have a miss. Let's see. I still have a check engine light once that clears, and it's still running rough. So I mean, it could be something as simple as a coil pack or a fouled plug. I thought the mist would go away when I replaced the crankshaft sensor, because I thought it was throwing my timing off, but it didn't. Anyway, either way, I can get home. So I hope you picked up some tips from this. Turn this thing off. I hope you learned something, saw something you could use. I will put the link for the quick way to get that bolt loose down below when I post the video. And if you've got any issues or questions with 3.8, so wait, here's something I want to address. Okay, look at this. That is an aftermarket remanufactured alternator. That is complete and utter junk, and it's going away. If your alternator goes bad on any car, always, if the opportunity presents itself, get a used OEM, that's original equipment manufacturer, unit to put on your vehicle, instead of going to AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advance, and getting a remanufactured unit. Because there's a number of different companies that remanufacture them, but they all use the same Chinese-made throwaway junk as their rectifiers and their bushings and bearings, and they will not last. The OEM used is going to last you 3 or 4 times the length. And it doesn't matter if it's got a lifetime warranty. If you're broken down in a Walmart parking lot and can't get home, or can't go pick up your kids, none of that lifetime warranty isn't going to matter a bit. What's going to matter is whether the thing cranks or not. So given the opportunity, always buy used OEM alternators and starters. Go to a salvage yard, give them your business. You'll pay half the money, and you'll get a better product. Even though it's already got mileage on it, doesn't matter. It was built right the first time, as opposed to this other stuff that is just not. Trust me from experience. Just go with used OEM whenever you possibly can. Alright folks, hopefully this is my 3.8 liter ending, except for that joker right there. As soon as I get an OEM, that thing's going away. Alright folks, have a good night, and please like and subscribe if you saw something you could use. Have a good day.